Well, many weeks ago, we were deciding what we were going to do each month, each tool we're going to give you and work on for the month. And I said months ago it was going to be a thrilling life experience, and look at what they did. They created fireworks. I love that song. You, Jesse, make a really cute Katy Perry. You really do. You do. Oh, all right. I have to tell you this before I start. You know, my husband's not here. He's out of town right now, and he's watching. So, hi there, Gary. Anyway, I get, excited about things, and oh, wow. And he's very calm and peaceful about things, and I'll go, Gary, isn't that exciting? Isn't that wonderful? And he goes, fireworks are going off inside. And that's the difference between Gary and I, and it's a great combination, that's for sure. So the title, A Thrilling Life Experience, that thrilling life experience, whatever it is for you, is different for every single solitary one of you. There are no two of us alike. You could be in retirement now and being thrilled that you're in retirement, or you could be saying, I don't know what to do. You could be saying, I finally have become sober after many years of an addiction, loving myself enough to be able to do something really hard. And that's a thrilling experience to be able to do that. Maybe it's a windfall of money that you're getting, an unexpected windfall. Wow. Yeah, right. Woohoo. You'll take that. It could be the birth of a deep awakening within you, or a meditation that you're in that you don't want to come out of because it's so wonderful. All of these are thrilling experiences, and they may be for one or not another. How about the first time you had a child, if any of you have had a child, that thrilling experience? Or the first time you become a grandparent and have a grandchild. Gary and I became grandparents 6 weeks ago, and I'm going to show you the picture of her. No, it's not me. Oh. No. It's a picture of innocence if you've ever seen it, isn't it? And how they got her hands up around that little teddy bear, I don't know. But there she is. And Gary's back there visiting her for the second time. So whatever it is for you, whatever the thrilling excitement has been for you, whether it's big or small, whatever it is, it's fun to remember that experience. It's fun to bring that in, to realize that anytime you want to, you actually can remember the thrill of whatever that was. Now, June has 5 weeks. So 5 weeks ago, Reverend Carla reminded us on that first Sunday in June about our spiritual strength and our ability to stand strong in shifting circumstances and to act courageously. And then I reminded you the second week that we are a community that has absolutely, positively grown in so many beautiful ways, that you've stood strong in shifting circumstances this past year. Each one of us has had a thrill in a different way. Whatever that's been for us, it's different. There are wonderful things happening in here. You know, there's a buzz here all week long with this group of women called Unity Sisters. And you got to watch out for them. They are sprucing things up behind the scenes. They're asking me if they can get this and that in there. And I'll tell you, they are a firecracker. They're the fireworks that are going on here during the week, and it is so much fun to watch them. And then Jesse. Well, who wouldn't want Jesse as a father? I mean, he stole our hearts. He gave us a first-hand view of what it is like to stand strong when your little baby is born 10 weeks early, to stand grounded and to be strong for the baby, Ellie, for his wife, Amy, and for himself. And to be in that present moment and stay in that present moment, allowing his courage to come forth. And in that courage, for him to be in these constant shifting circumstances, right? Right. And knowing that all is well, believing in that sacredness within Ellie, within Amy, and within himself. And then last week we had Reverend Joe here, and he reminds us that we're never powerless. And he left us with several valuable truths. A few of them I'll mention. You can be spiritual and heartbroken. You can be spiritual and depressed. You can be spiritual and angry if you allow your spirituality to help you face the human experience and not suppress it. And then the one I've used all week, I love it, is when you want something different in your life, remember old keys don't open new doors, right? And then the one that all of you loved, I'm going to repeat it. Never blame someone else for the road you are on. It's your own fault. Yeah, everybody loved that one last week. And now, as this month ends, I'm going to gather all that up and make a beautiful bouquet of stability, a beautiful bouquet of courage and tenacity. You know what tenacity means? Who knows what tenacity means? Yes, Chris. What's it mean? Standing in it, tenacious, right, tenacity, tenacious. Good, you didn't know I was going to call on you, sorry. Okay. So, and how to be in changing circumstances all the time and be okay with it. We do not like change unless we see something out there that if we change, it will be different. But we still have to be able to get through it, and we have to stand strong. Now, I'm going to use the story of David and Goliath. Now, you all know that story, right? So here's King David, this real tall, King Saul, this real tall guy, and here's little David, and he comes up to King Saul and he says, hey, I can take down the Philistines, and I can take down that giant. I can take Goliath down. And, King Saul, oh, that's so sweet. Notice I'm paraphrasing this whole thing. That's so sweet, David. That's the way I'd say it, I guess, But you can't do that. You can't do this. No. I know I can do this, right? So he is going to do it no matter what. So King Saul says, all right, let me give you my armor. You're going to need something. That little sling that you have and those 5 smooth stones, oh, please, let me give you my armor. So he gives him the armor, and the armor's just hanging off of him. It's way too big. You know how when somebody tries to give you something and it doesn't fit, whatever it is, he takes it off. He says, no, I don't need it. And with one shot, because there was a hole in the armor of Goliath, boom, down went this mighty man. That's the Bible story. David's one stone took down an impressive, massive, strong Goliath. Now, there's a metaphysical meaning to this, and Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, says it like this. David's power was in trusting divine intelligence. He saw a weak place in Goliath's armor. Every one of us have a Goliath within us, and we have a weak spot in our armor, in that what we put around us to make us look tough and strong. The incident shows how easy it is to overcome seemingly personal and material conditions when the mind of spirit is brought into action. When we stand strong, when we stand firm in what we believe, that Goliath that is in us doesn't have a chance. Every one of us has one. Every one of us. Just ask your ego. It'll help you. So it's either a big thing or it's a little thing, whatever it is. It can be a health problem. It can be a money problem. It can be broken relationships. It can be anger towards yourselves. It can be anger toward others. It can be unforgiveness of self, unforgiveness of others. You know what I'm talking about. It can be the fear of the unknown, not feeling good enough, putting up with stuff that you really don't want to put up with, that doesn't really work for you, but you're afraid to change. I could go on and on. But wanting something different for yourself is using the sling of your consciousness to break through that armor, that little hole, and allow yourself to, boom, really get in there. Allow the fireworks within you to come out, that light that shines within you. Allow that to happen. When it does, your life changes. That can be a thrilling experience, a big one or a small one. I've been in every one of those places, that's for sure. You can't live as long as I do and not, that's for sure. But at this point, in spite of all odds, I know I can do it. You know you can do it. By getting in touch with your divine intelligence, in touch with who you really are. When you're finally fed up with something, that's the only time sometimes it makes you do something. When you're finally fed up. Why do we wait that long? Why do we do that to ourselves? Why do we let that Goliath run our lives? Whatever that Goliath represents for you. Why not be the insight of fireworks? We got the 4th of July coming up. When you see fireworks on the 4th of July, think about yourself. Think about you lighting up the sky with God's love. Just picture that being you. I wish I could have had fireworks here today, but we didn't have the money. I had thousands of dollars. Okay. Whatever it is deep down inside, whatever it is, you are spiritually sacred. I want you to take that in. You are spiritually sacred. And that's really what you want to be embodying. Your courage and your tenacity is what causes you to take action. It's your courage that tells your ego, you know what I'm going to say because I say it all the time. Go get a room. I don't want to go with you. You're no fun. Get lost, ego. That's what I say to it. And then I step into whatever I need to step into to be that spark of identity, of intelligence, that divinity. And I allow that spark to move me forward using that sling to ignite that energy within me. And I know you have done this yourselves many times. It's God's life within that gives us the courage to meet the challenges of every day. It's when you claim your divine identity that you get that divine strength and you stand anchored in the courage that you need. Maybe you didn't have that courage yesterday, but today you do. Something that you never thought you could do, some self-defeating, discouraging thing that could be happening, and you finally say, nope, I've got that strength. God is within me. It's where you set boundaries for yourself, where you mean what you say. You don't try to fit in while betraying your own spiritual sacredness. It's where you may need to stand in your integrity, where you really don't feel like you belong. It's where you don't share what others tell you because they trust you, because you realize that it's not yours to tell. All of this is spiritual maturity, and this spiritual awareness is what raises our consciousness. David is a perfect example of this. These Bible stories are no joke. They are no joke. They have a meaning, every one of them. And they were written at a time when people of that time would understand it. But it doesn't mean that it isn't for us to understand. That's why we have to take it apart. They didn't need to. They got it right away. But I want to take a moment right now. And I'd like you to come up with, this is a working lesson today. I'd like you to come up with a concern that you might have, a worry, a fear, and anxiety, something where you know you're able to turn it around. You're able to make it possible, whatever it is. Remember, we're all human, so we all have something we need to do. Here's my immediate one. I'm looking out at this wonderful community right here, and I'm thinking, look at them. I wonder if I'm making any sense. I'm wondering if they get it. I wonder if they're bored. Let me see. Who's looking bored out here? Come on, firecracker. Come on. Wake up, wake up. See, so I wonder that, and then I have to allow the strength of God within me to say, if just one person here gets something, okay, that's wonderful. And stop making it so hard for myself. See, that was my immediate concern, right? So then I hit, boom, the stone, went in, my little armor there of ego, and I feel great now. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me. So I'm going to be quiet now for a few moments, not long. I want you to think of one thing that you would love today to turn around in your mind. One thing. Because as Unity says, you know, it's our third principle. You're gonna know it when I say it, everybody that just became new members. Human beings create their experience by the activity of their thinking. So I'm asking you right now to go within, find that one thing. Okay, you probably knew right away what it was. If you didn't come up with anything, then you really have come up with something. You've decided you haven't come up with anything. And what that means is you're going to need a little more time. But baby, you're a firework. You are a firework. And you can ignite that light within you anytime you want. God is there 24/7 saying, come on, come on. Boom, 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 right? So, also, I just want to mention Brené Brown. She's an author and researcher on shame and vulnerability. And here's what she says. Brave is very hard, and you have to stand alone in it. But when you have God within you, and you see all the people around you that have God within them, wow, how exciting is that? I would like us to say this together. Okay, people seem a little sleepy today. Is that true? Oh, I'm not going to go to my boring. I'm not doing that again. Okay, I want you to say this with me. With what, David?
Gusto.
Gusto. All right. God is my source.
God is my source.
Oh boy, white. God is my abundance.
God is my abundance.
I am anchored in spiritual strength.
I am anchored in spiritual strength.
Baby, I'm a firework.
Baby, I'm a firework.
Ignite the light within.
Ignite the light within.
All right. Amen. Yeah. That's who you truly are. And don't you let anybody ever tell you anything differently. Don't you ever. Did I sound like a mother? Don't you ever. I should have shaken my finger at the same time. Okay. So I have homework. I know you're not surprised. So when you leave, the ushers will have the homework for you. I'm going to explain it to you, and then it will be uploaded so that it is for everybody online can have it. So here's what it says. I am you're not going to see it up there. I am a blank, blank, blank spiritual being willing to stand in my courage, strength, and tenacity able to be my divine self. So here's what it looks like. I am a strong, loving, beautiful spiritual being. See, 3 adjectives that describe you. They have to be positive. No negative adjectives. Okay? And you might have to stretch a little. If you say, I am a loving, you might say, well, I'm not loving all the time. But by putting that down, it's what you want to be. Put it down. I am a wonderful firecracker, bringing love as a spiritual being. Do you see what I'm saying? You're going to fill it in. I want you to really think big about yourself. Think really big. And then I would like you to use it for meditation and for prayer this week. Embed within you who you really are instead of who you aren't. Spend the time that you have realizing your greatness. And I'm not talking about being a braggart. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about that humility within you that allows you to see your goodness.